Hello, listeners. Yes, that's right. This sexy, seductive, voluptuous voice you are now listening to belongs to none other than the great. Oh my gosh, son of crumbs. Why is it this time? Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this again. What does the sign say? Prodigy at work, exactly. The cogs of creativity are in motion right now, and you're just grinding them to a halt. No, I can't just edit this out. I'm the talent. No, I don't do that sort of work. It is beneath me. Well, who can think of dinner at a time like this? Well, what are we having? Oh my gosh, Cinnabon. Okay, I haven't had carbs in like an hour, and you're interrupting my artistic expression session to try and ruin my figure. Look, you think I want to be this guy? I'm sorry. I'm just passionate as all. You know how it is. Okay. I'm just gonna make like a Jersey girl and do me right now. And then I'll come and join you. Okay? Okay. Love you too, Grandma. Oh, where were we? For those of you a little confused right now, in the biz, we call that a bit. And that bit was my impression of Christian Bale doing a podcast. Seriously, hello everyone. Welcome to the Untitled Awesome Podcast with your host, JHirte, who is ready to have some fun. Woo! So I've been on a bit of a health fix ever since I moved back. Lifting weights, being active, watching what I eat. Partially because I want to, look out for my health. Partially because I'm really that bored out here, guys. Along with that, I quit smoking again. Yes, I know. I'm such a sinner. Like, I was smoking. Wasn't for too long. I mean, comparatively. Like, when you think of a smoker, you think of people who smoke, I don't know, somewhere on the bottom of that totem pole, I guess. This is my 5th time trying to quit. Operations 1 through 4 were a complete failure, but I got a pretty good feeling about numero 5 here. It started off I was smoking for about a year, and it started off as my New Year's resolution to quit. But like most New Year's resolutions, it lasted for about 2 weeks. And then they had that study come out saying that supposedly coffee adds time to your life. So the second time I tried to quit, I thought, hey, cigarettes take time away from your life. Coffee adds to your life. So obviously, using my superior mathematical skills, I just do them both at the same time and it's just going to even out, right? Well, that turned into me having like 20 coffee breaks a day. And it's just no way to live. All that caffeine pumping through you, it changes you. Especially a person like me. Oh, I was off the charts. Well then, Joe, why didn't you drink decaf? Because shut up, that's why. Now I'm trying to do it cold turkey, which is rough for me because, I don't like poultry. Come on, I had to say it. Oh, Joseph, and your wordplay. I decided to quit because I was annoyed of everyone telling me I should quit. I mean, it's like an unwritten rule that you basically mind your own business. When it comes to smoking, it's everyone's business. This is RA too. Strangers feel the obligation to tell you to quit. It's like there's Jehovah's Witnesses for smokers. Give up your wicked ways, sinner, and be granted with more life in your 90s. Because I've worked on an older adult unit before. I've seen 90. And to be honest, rather a cigarette now than another day of peeing in a bag and not knowing who I am later. Sorry if that was a little dark. I'm assuming if you're offended by that joke, you won't remember what I said 30 seconds from now anyway. Because everyone has, some relative who had something tragic happen to them because of smoking. People having a conversation outside of a party. Because maybe you're like me and don't actually get invited into the party. And then, you whip out a pack and out of nowhere you'll hear, "Oh, you're smoking cigarettes?" It's like, you got that classic deer in the headlights look. Maybe. It's okay if you are. It's fine. It's fine. I just feel like I have to tell you that my uncle was a smoker. He was only 60 when he received lung cancer about 5 years ago. And we just couldn't stand the scare. Oh, really? Sorry to hear about him passing away. Oh, he didn't die or anything. Then they just did all that, hospital jargon. But I tell you, the stress, the medical bills, what he has to go through now, it's like, hello, was it really worth it now? And, you're still standing there with your cigarette just, no, not worth it at all. So yeah, I don't know. Ever since then, I just feel called to tell people that story. Now I just stick to drinking. Ugh. Thanks, Dr. Oz. But really, smoking's bad for you. I wouldn't advise anyone to start. Although, let me tell you, it's a great stress reliever. But no, now I'm done. I haven't smoked in... Oh gosh, it's only been not even 2 months. Feels like a year. But I'm a soldier. SOULJA, boy soldier. Any of you guys ever get curious about whether, let's be honest, if you were a mistake or not? It's an interesting thing to think about. I just thought about it the other day randomly. Because I look at my siblings and how we're all, timed out. I can definitely tell Kate was planned. Kate is my younger sister, by the way, and she is an angel. But I have 2 older brothers, Ben and John. Ben is 8 years older than me. John is 5 years older than me. And then I'm older than Kate by 13 months. Think about that, folks. It means 4 months after Mom had me, she was pregnant again already. So, not that it's wrong or anything, but I just kind of imagine after a 5-year sabbatical, if you will, Mom and Dad were like, should we have a girl before, our luck runs out? Yeah, why don't we try for a girl? And then, voila, I came out, saw I was a boy, and they probably just both looked at the doctor and was like, "Hey doc, when can we go back to work?" Just kidding. Although then I was thinking deeper into it, and you guys ever play that game where you subtract 9 months from your birthday to figure out around what joyous celebration you were conceived around? People will be walking around like, "Oh, I'm a Christmas baby. Oh, I'm a Valentine's Day baby. I'm a mom just graduated from high school baby." Well, my birthday is in the first week of January, usually. I'm going by the Sunday through Saturday, first week. It's it's the 8th. I'll just say it that way. Basically the first week. So, subtracting 9 months, the closest holiday for me is April Fool's. I am an April Fool's Day baby. So I kind of just the dark comedic side of me likes to think that maybe dad planned on having me and mom didn't. you know, because dad used to be really, really into April Fools. Sadly, haven't been around for the last couple April Fool's days at the Hirte households, but I remember growing up, he was serious, man. He would put rubber bands around the handle on the sprayer next to the faucet, so that when you went to turn on the sink in the morning, you were definitely awake then, because the sprayer would just happen to be turned right at you with the handle down, and you would just get soaked. Man, I don't know if that's unoriginal, if that's an oldie but a goodie, or whatever it is, but I still think it's pretty clever, especially looking at Dad's mind now. So I like to think that Mom and Dad used to get into like these epic prank wars with each other, right? And maybe one fine April Fool's day in 1990, maybe Mom had been on a hot streak for the past couple of years. Maybe she was talking some smack, like, "Oh, what kind of weak sauce you bringing this year, boy?" And Dad was like, "All right, I'm going for it. This is gonna be the ultimate April Fool's Day prank." And he may have given her some misinformation later that night. And then a couple weeks later, Mom's puking over a toilet, and Dad's just standing in the hallway saying, "Who's the king, baby? I got you so good this year." And to be honest, I'll take that. Yeah. Because Dad's very honest. If you ever ask him, "Oh, do you have any favorites?" And every time, "Oh, Kate. Kate's my favorite. She's the youngest, my only baby girl." And then he'll add in some other reason, like, "and she's the only one who's going to take care of me when I'm older." And for that, I'm like, whew, glad I got out of that job. But then, decades from now, because it won't be anytime soon, and it will still, wrench my heart when the time comes, but someday Dad will be on his deathbed. They'll be looking back at his life, and they'll be like, "Did your children turn out the way you wanted them to be?" "Yes, Kate's still my favorite." I'll be like, "Oh, yeah, saw that one coming." Then they'll say, "Richard, what was, your crowning achievement in life?" And he'll say, "My son Joe. He was the ultimate prank on my wife." "Who's the king, baby?" Oh, I mean, I don't know. To me, that's quite honoring in a really dark and sadistic way. But anyway, moving on. I've had a lot of just being back in this house, a lot of random memories coming up. Like the front porch. I actually relived this the other day. I think this also it is a good job of describing of what some of my other family members are like as well. And you'll definitely have a better sense of me from this. I am terrified of snakes. Like, I believe it's legitimate phobia. Which is unfortunate for me, because my brother Ben is the truly like adventuresome one of the Hirte children. Loves the weird and wacky and the unexplored things that we, oh, you're scared because you don't know that much about them. So he has a snake named Agamemnon. Personally, I enjoy that name because it's, about the famous Greek general that led the Trojan War, but that's my nerdiness getting back up in it. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. Who's a ball python, and who lives with us now since he can't be with Ben in Germany. But I remember being a freshman in high school, and I was laying in the hammock on our front porch. Because, yeah, I thought it was cool to lay in a hammock, even though you weren't old, alright? Judge me. And I was in there reading, feeling like my intellectual self. Oh, dear. I was a weird kid. And then, I'm not sure what Ben was home for, but I know he was getting ready to leave again for something. He was doing some packing or something, but he comes into the front porch and he's like, Joe, would you mind watching the snake for a little while? I have to do some things for like 10 minutes. And, I'm a freshman in high school. I still have, that macho-ness I feel because, yeah, high school, baby. The other day, someone asked if I was a junior. What up? No one ever asked me that. Not until I got to college, anyway. But I was like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. And he plops this thing right onto my lap. I was like, okay, I can do this. It's just a snake. It's not that hurt. But every time, like, I couldn't go back to my book just because I knew there was a snake on top of me, and I had to watch it constantly. So he starts slithering away from me, and he goes towards my feet. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. No, it's fine. But then he starts his head starts peeking over my feet and down below. And I'm like, well, we can't have any of that now, can we? But I'm not ready to touch this snake. So I start trying to, like, kind of point him back in my direction by using my toes to kind of, hey, come back here. And then I started getting a little freaked out because his pace changed. Like, he quickly turned around and immediately headed back the other way. I'm like, oh crap, I pissed him off. But then he started doing that, like, slow winding thing, but he's still coming towards me. And I'm thinking, what's going through this thing's head? And I think I'm visibly starting to show my fear right now, starting to tremble a little bit. And the whole time it just keeps wriggling his way up towards me. Eventually it got to the point where he was like the potato head orc from Return of the King, you know?
Fear. The city is ripe with it.
And he was up to his head was at about my chest, and I'm staring this thing, straight down. I can't tell if he sees me or not because his eyes are at the side of his head, but, they're just black and beady, and you don't know what's going on. And he's doing that tongue thing the whole time. He's literally tasting my borderline tears. He can definitely taste sweat. Ooh. And so, out of nowhere, this thing opens its mouth as wide as it can, and I freak out. I was doing the, no, get away! No, never, no, not again, no! I was like Goofy. And I had my eyes closed. I was really, like, kicking and wriggling about. I'm surprised I stayed in the hammock. And I come back, and I'm like, and the snake's mouth isn't there anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, I killed Ben's snake. I built Ken's snake. Woo! I killed Ben's snake. Got that last one. And then I realized that it was still there. I was just staring at the place where I last saw it. It literally just moved over like 2 inches to the right. And I saw it was still there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't kill Ben's snake. Because I kind of wanted to. I was terrified. I'm literally in tears at this point. Half because of what just happened. Half because I realized that no one is rushing to my aid right now. And I still have this snake in the hammock with me. I know that I have to probably physically pick this thing up and place it somewhere. Oh, it was agonizing. I still couldn't believe it because I definitely yelled and screamed and was terrified. And it was another like maybe 5-10 minutes before anyone came to my rescue. They're all probably like, what's with the chick screaming down the street? I was like, no, that was your brother. So Ben comes back in. And I'm literally just cowering in the hammock, doing that little boy, like sob, trying to hold it together, like just blubbering. He's like, Joe, what happened? And I told him what happened, and he's giving me that like big brotherly embrace because I could still fit in his arms at that time. And he's like, trying to console me. Oh, Joe, it's okay. It's okay. And then this is what he says. But Joe, he was just realigning his jaw. Oh, my bad. Of course. I should have just immediately figured that he was realigning his jaw. That thing that things usually do right before they're about to eat or bite something. Ugh. So I'm just still crying, and he's like rocking and cradling me. After he put the snake back, of course. He was like, oh, I'll get back to you in a minute. And left me by myself for a little while. But then he's back, helping me out. And all of a sudden we hear Mom's soft voice. Boys? I'm like, oh, great. Here's comes some cheesy motherly love talk. Instead, we hear, it's really dark out, and you guys have the light on so people can see you. Oh, thanks for looking out, Mom. And my immediate reaction, the punk side of me came out. I wasn't about to have none of that. I literally started talking like terrible, last resort trash. I was in Ben's arms, coming. I don't care. I'll take anyone on. Ben's reassuring me, just going with it. Yeah, bud, you'll take on all of them. Yeah, they can't touch me. I'm a snake attack survivor. Ooh. So yeah, we've covered nerd, loud, weird, and terrified of snakes. Wow. It's like you guys know me so well, like the back of your own hands. But I'm telling you, I'm like a Pandora's box, baby. You don't know what you're gonna get when I come popping out. Sorry, I'm starting to ramble. It's late. This happens. Hope you guys are enjoying the podcasts so far. Please give me feedback. Comments, especially. I'm assuming most of you probably have my cell phone or email, or anyone who's not a Facebook friend of mine is getting this. I don't know even how you got info to this podcast link, but thanks for listening. Message me if you have more personal stuff. Feel free to give questions. Again, advice. I mean, couple intro classes in college, totally qualified to dish some out for y'all, because I might be given some unasked for advice anyway. So I think that's it for this one. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will check in with you again soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening.